Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Belichick's Bitches Podcast, the number one podcast in the world, using some sort of metric. Using the best source, the only source. Do trust me. I'm your host, Brennan, and along with me, as always, is my co host, Tyler.
And another week of amazing, boring playoff games. I don't know what it is with this playoffs, but it just feels like the games aren't as high stakes or exciting.
Yeah, the
And I
only
know they
Browns and
are, but
Chiefs game was exciting.
yeah, I mean, you can make a case, I guess, for Ravens Bills. I like sloppy games, but it was pretty uneventful divisional round. But hey, got a lot to talk about, so I guess we'll just kind of hop into it. First of all, you feeling any better? For the people listening, you sounded like poo poo last week.
Yes, but I still have symptoms, so I'm still
Yeah,
stuck inside, so unfortunately.
that was last episode. I think we cut off at like 35 minutes. I
Oh,
think
yeah, it was like
probably another episode that kind of
35-minute podcast. It was the shortest one by far.
yeah. So Rams Packers. Again, not the most interesting game after the first quarter.
Yeah,
The Rams just they were close, but they were always a score behind. But they never scored when they really needed to.
yeah.
It was
And it doesn't help
the
when your two most important players on each side of the ball are injured and playing
yeah
very limitedly with Jared Goff and
yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Even so, Goff had a hell of a game with that glove on. I mean, he only missed like two or three receivers the
Yeah.
whole game.
And Cooper Cup
It
was
was
out for the game too.
yeah. Van Jefferson though, you got to give him. He looked really good. I can maybe they paid the receivers a little too early because Van Jefferson played really well.
Yeah, he did. I was impressed with him.
He had a touchdown. He had like 5 or 6 catches. Um, yeah, that Rams team they paid their like all their core, which is kind of rare, but I think they paid Woods,
Unless
Cup,
you're me when playing
Goff.
Madden.
Yeah, they only trust me. They didn't pay Gurley. I think that was the only player from that core that they didn't resign.
I think they're still
But yeah,
paying for
Goff.
Gurley, aren't they?
I think they are, but it's not too much. I think it's like $5 or $6 million in dead money. Goff again, like I said, Goff. He went out there, played a lot better than I was expecting. But when you, especially with Jair Alexander shutting up half the field, with the way he was playing, it was pretty hard for the Rams to really get consistent offense.
They are still paying for Gurley. $8.5 million.
Yeah, I knew it was singular digits. But yeah, so but again, man, the Green Bay defense. Jair Alexander played really well, but they couldn't stop the Rams in those key situations because they could have really put that game away in the second
Yeah.
quarter, and they'd let the Rams go on these really long touchdown drives. So I'm still concerned about Green Bay's defense. Um,
That's been a concern for most of the season.
yeah, it's Jair's not the issue. He's played out of his mind.
Yeah.
The
Jair's
pass
had a
rush,
really good season.
it's weird. The pass rush is good too. It's just the opposite side of the field from wherever Jair is. Kevin King is just not covering his ground,
Yeah.
and the linebackers aren't really doing much better either. So it's a concern. That's my thing. The Rams paid that core, and I wonder if that's going to come back and bite them.
Oh, it's definitely going to. For 2021, they are almost $23 million in the hole,
Hmm.
and that's I think before the cap drops too,
Yeah,
because we don't know how much it's going to drop by yet. I think it's projected between. It's projected the salary cap is projected to be 175 to 195.
yeah. So they're going to have some issues, especially re-signing some of the younger talent they have. Um, but McVay has shown to draft pretty well. So I don't know if their window is quote unquote closing, but he's going to have to probably redo the team one more time before they're, I think, at a stable place.
Yeah.
But hey, he has Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, so that defense is still going to be nasty regardless. Leonard Floyd played himself into a good contract that I don't think the Rams are going to afford, though.
I
He
don't think he
played
necessarily
very
deserves
well.
it, to be honest. I mean, yeah,
Does he deserve it?
he has the stats,
Yeah.
but his production besides the stats has remained relatively similar throughout the rest of his career.
Yeah. But I think a team, especially who needs an edge,
Oh
hit
yeah,
New England.
especially I think this is especially weak edge
Yeah.
class too. You're gonna see
He's gonna he's
this is
gonna
a
demand.
huge hit or miss free agency class.
I think he's gonna demand upwards of $12 million, $13 million in a multi-year deal.
Oh yeah, easily.
So I don't think Leonard Floyd is worth it, but especially with Bud Dupree going down, that really hurt the edge rush, or actually kind of helped the edge rush market because it kind of bump a lot of guys' values up. Because Bud Dupree was the number one name until he went down with that ACL. So,
No, I think Shaq Barrett's probably the number one.
oh yeah, Shaq Barrett is hitting
Yeah.
free agency. I forgot he was playing on the tag. Forgot about that. Yeah, he had another pretty good season for Tampa Bay. I don't know what Tampa Bay is going to do. Their salary cap has to be pretty getting close to.
They
insane
still
now.
have, well, for 2021 they have 29, almost 30 mil available.
Huh. I didn't know that.
They have very little dead money.
I guess when they were so bad for so long, I guess it let them get some better. Yes, I mean that's not bad. But and then the last
they
thing
definitely have some contracts they could easily shed to get a ton more money because a lot of people don't have any dead money on their contracts left. Like they easily cut like a Cameron Brate and get 6.5 million, even more.
even though Brate has low key been like really good this season.
I know.
He's been one
I'm
of the
just throwing out
sneakier
an
tight
example.
ends. Yeah, but like I don't think he's really taken over that tight end one spot away from OJ Howard. And I mean, you haven't really heard much about OJ Howard this season.
Yeah, you could easily
Yeah.
trade either one of them and save $6 million.
Yeah. And then the
With no dead
Rams
money.
DC, this was the weirdest I think of all the hires. This was the one that really kind of confused me. Was the Rams defensive coordinator signed to be the head coach? Brandon Staley
Of the
is the head
Chargers.
coach of the Chargers. He's definitely one of those get them a year before they're ready type guys. Like the McVays and Taylors and all them. Well, Taylor hasn't really shown up yet, but I wasn't huge on the hiring. I'll be honest. I know he had this defense that he had was really good, but at the same time, he's only been a defensive coordinator I think for 4 years. So, a little worrying. I think he was actually the defensive coordinator of like a Division III team just like 3.5 years ago. So that's pretty insane if you think about it.
Some guys make that jump extremely quickly, and for some other guys it takes forever. Who knows the reason why? It just happened.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Brandon Staley does. He gets a pretty solid defense in the Chargers that just need a better scheme, and he gets Herbert. So the Chargers might be, if Staley works out, they could be sneaky playoff contenders next year, depending on how bad the Broncos and Raiders are. Who knows if the Broncos keep Drew Lock? I mean, you never know. I had to bring that up. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. You're right. The sloppy game of the week, I guess you could call it. Ravens Bills. It was 3-3 at halftime. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both teams moved the ball until they got to like the 30 and then just kind of fell flat. There was like 4 missed field goals in the game. Bass and Tucker missed 2 field goals in the game.
That was a windy game.
Yeah. It was weird to see Tucker miss 2 field goals. I know that it wasn't even his fault, but
You could even see the look on his face too.
yeah. Why does he? So whenever he misses a kick, it's like he goes somewhere else and he like sees the worst thing imaginable. His eyes get huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tucker missed it. I don't really blame him. Tyler Bass missed a couple field goals too. But he has. Did you see what he was doing on kickoffs?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed it. What he did on kickoffs is most people, most kickers, they stand like 10 to 15 yards away and they jog at the ball. He was standing like 5 yards away. He would just boot it out of the end zone. It was
He's got a leg.
impressive. It was
He's got a
like
leg.
that's just a flex. That's such a flex. It's like 5 yards, barely even really jogs at it and just boots it out of the end zone. No, it was I just loved watching that. It was fun. Uh, Lamar was injured after a sack. I don't know. I think it was a concussion that he got hurt on. Pretty hard hit. But the game was pretty much over at that point. That was right after the Teron Johnson pick six.
Yeah.
Beautiful pick six, by the way. Same guy that got hit in the head at the combine.
Yep. It was during the catching drill, yeah, for DBs.
That was funny. He looked left. The guy ball just hit him right on the right side. That was funny. But I mean, it was a sloppy game, and I love that. I love sloppy games. But beside that, I mean, the Bills didn't run the ball. It was just Josh Allen throwing into the wind, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it was like the first three of the Bills' offensive possessions. They only ran the ball once, and it was a pass play that Josh Allen scrambled on.
Mm-hmm. They were the first team to never run the ball in the first quarter of a playoff game ever. That rush came like in the second. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of for that because I love the Bills' style of offense. They're pass and then they kind of run secondary. I love that type of offense, and it works for them. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, will that work against the Chiefs?
I mean, when it's that windy of a game.
Yeah, but then again, when you don't really have a running back that can really take 15 to 20 carries, it's kind of limiting. I mean, why run the ball? Singletary, who I mean, admittedly is more of a pass catcher type guy, then might as well just throw it. Run some more dink downs. I don't know. If the running back's not talented enough, you might as well throw it. That's how I see it. So in your opinion, do you think the Bills can match up to the Chiefs?
I mean, I've been saying this for the past couple weeks that the Bills and the Ravens were the only teams able to beat the Chiefs in the AFC. I was almost proved wrong, but yes, I do believe that the Bills can still beat the Chiefs as long as they put in the right defensive game plan.
Yeah, I honestly do. And especially with Mahomes, he got shaken up on a concussion, so he's gonna play. I mean, let's be honest, he's gonna play.
Yeah, he's gonna play.
It would take a lot. It would take a lot for Mahomes to stay out of this game. So it's gonna be interesting. I think the key is always with Patrick Mahomes, you have to pressure him. You know, if you don't pressure him, you just let him sit back and pick you apart. It's gonna be over at half. But speaking of that, the Browns, they stuck in there, man.
The Brownies almost did it.
They were a helmet to helmet call away.
And their offensive line on that last drive absolutely screwed them.
It was the play calling made no sense. 2 zone runs when you all need a touchdown to win the game. I know you have Nick Chubb, but why? Why would you just call 2 zone runs and then on a third down you just kind of threw like a 4-yard slant? Yeah, the play calling made no sense on that drive. But hey, that helmet to helmet hit should have been called. It wasn't. They'll be back next season. I mean, the team is insanely young and their cap situation's great, so they'll be there. They'll be around for a while. It just sucks that they couldn't win the game. Mahomes' injury was. He'll be fine.
Also, a thing to look out for with the Browns is don't be surprised if you see them try and trade Jarvis Landry, honestly. Because he's not the best scheme fit for the Browns. Because they run a lot of 2 tight ends, and rightfully so. But with the 2 tight ends, when you're throwing the ball, both of those 2 tight ends are going to take up the short routes, and that's Jarvis Landry's bread and butter. And you don't want to overload like the short and middle of the field with those kind of routes, and they usually use their receivers for more deep and intermediate routes, which isn't necessarily Jarvis Landry's game. So he's kind of stuck in a sort of limbo in this offense. I think you might see him get traded this offseason.
Yeah, and I think a couple of teams that could really use that receiver, maybe even his old team, the Dolphins. I mean, I know the situation was a little rocky there, but that was completely different management, different coach. Wouldn't be shocked. I think Miami should be. They need the Miami. I know it's not about Miami. Miami really needs to restock that offense. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback like some people are trying to say.
Yeah, I
They
don't see it.
could get Watson, but something tells me Watson's going to New York. I just have that feeling the Jets. I don't know why.
I would love that.
I would not like that because it's in the AFC East still. But I think if I had to pick a team that most likely should get Watson, it would be the Jets with Salah and a whole bunch of cap.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. Personally, just me. The thing with the Browns that worries me is they need to find a balance. First of all, they need to re-sign Nick Chubb. That should be their number one priority.
Yeah.
But they really need to find a balance in that passing game. I like the game. I like the passing game they have. I like you said, the two tight end sets. But they, like you said, they definitely need to find. I don't know if it's going to be Odell or if something else, but I think they need to find another playmaker in that offense. I don't know where. I think a perfect guy for them would be Tony from Florida.
Oh, Tooney.
I really love Tony. Tony Tooney, whatever his name is. Really love his fit in Cleveland. I think he would go right along with Odell and Peoples-Jones and Higgins.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was watching his tape and I was like, damn, that looks like a Browns receiver. I don't know. It was just one of those things. Whoever gets him, Schwartz, and Atwell, 3 complete speed demons in this draft. I'm all for it. But yeah, so the Chiefs, man. Henny, man. That was funny. He threw a really bad interception. Like really bad.
That was an arm punt.
Carl Joseph could have fair caught it.
Yeah. Anything is
but then
possible.
he had it was interesting. What was it? 4th and 1. They trusted him to throw the ball. I was all for that. I loved it. He saved the season.
He did.
That and the refs, but more Henny. We'll give Henny the credit for that.
Andy Reid with the big balls to end the game.
He does not care, man. He really doesn't care. Reid is so fun to watch as a coach. It's gonna be sad when he does retire. It's gonna suck. But hopefully that's not for a while.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing. I love Bieniemy as a coach, but I'm really sick of hearing his name in the media. Same with Brady, Joe Brady. I'm so sick of hearing Joe Brady and Bieniemy's name for every head coaching opening.
I'm not sure I quite understand why Eric Bieniemy gets so much attention.
It is, again, his offense. He runs the offense that has Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey.
So, I mean, he's not the play caller though. That's Andy Reid.
No, he's not.
And also, that pass that he has is a bit concerning. And when he did call plays, when he has called plays at, I think he was a coach at Colorado, it was abysmal.
The thing is, and from what I've heard, again, I have no sources on this, so I can't really confirm or deny it, but a lot of people are saying it's the interview. Like, maybe he doesn't interview well. I think he'll get a head coaching job. If not this season, he'll probably get one next season. But I don't know. I'm getting really annoyed at hearing, oh, well, for the Jets job. I mean, they really tell me he was going to go to the Jets. The enemy to the Jets. That don't make sense.
No.
You know what I mean? I hope he gets a job. How many head coaching jobs left out there? There's the Eagles.
Just Eagles and Texans.
God, I wouldn't want either of those.
Neither would
I. I'd stay a coordinator. You know what I mean? It's, man, that's pretty gross. But Bucks Saints. the worst combined 50-point game I think I've watched ever.
Yeah,
It felt like there was no touchdowns this game.
that was a boring game.
It was New Orleans actively just not playing well. Um, First of all, New Orleans. We'll talk about the part of the team that was supposed to be really good, the defense. They played pretty well for some reason the whole game. They were just picking on the right flats, and they were. Brady played decent. I wouldn't say he played out of his world.
No, who
Brady
did
played
play
pretty
out of
well.
his world was Devin White.
Devin White was everywhere.
He was reminding me how badly I wanted him in the 2019 draft. Then he went
Yeah,
number 5 overall, and I was not happy.
He was blazing everywhere, man. But Breeze, man, he was playing with a torn rotator cuff.
Gee, what?
That's what.
I
Yeah,
didn't hear that.
that's what his wife said
Oh wow.
on Twitter. Rotator cuff. I don't know if that's confirmed or not,
For how
but
long?
yeah, she didn't say. But if that is true, Ed understands why his arm looked like, and he was playing with the broken ribs. So I mean, I guess you can't really blame him. But he, I don't know, man, playoff Breeze, man, it just isn't it sometimes. Again, Sean Payton with the play calling boat too. I mean, his best play call was that Winston trick play.
Yeah.
Where he got Winston to throw to a wide open man.
And
Was about
Breeze is probably done. Most
Yeah,
likely.
people are trying to say, well, maybe he'll come back next year because of his own talking to Winston saying, "This is your team
this
now."
is your team now. Yep.
So he's done. He's gone. Okay. So Tampa Bay gets to play Green Bay next week. It's hard because Tampa Bay's defense has had one really good game and one completely terrible game. These playoffs.
Yeah.
They played out of their minds versus the Saints, and they let Tyler Heineke just absolutely destroy them. So where do you go from there? I don't know, man. I don't know if I can bet against the Packers in this game. I don't know, man. I think I have to go Green Bay. As much as playoff Brady, I think, is going to make this a game, I think Green Bay's defense is just slightly better than Tampa Bay's defense. I think that's what's going to win the game.
I'm the opposite. I think I have to go with the Buccaneers as much as I don't want to. And I think they're probably going to be the first team to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. As much as I didn't see it throughout the entire season. I don't know. Something about the Packers still doesn't sit right with me. I think Tampa Bay has way too many weapons, and I think their defense can do just enough if it's on track to slow down the Packers. I'm gonna take the Bucs.
I hope so. I'll be honest.
I don't hope so. I'd rather have the Packers, but I think it's gonna be the Bucs.
But yeah, I don't know. I just something about that Buccaneers defense, the inconsistency worries me. I do see Brady throwing 3 to 4 touchdowns on the Packers defense, though. I do see that happening. Playoff Brady is just a different animal. So we'll see. Man. I think Brady winning a 7th ring would just be absolutely hilarious. Because at least we've stopped the notion that Belichick carried Brady. If there's anything from this season, no, not everyone's going to call him the GOAT anyway, because that'll never happen. He could win 12. That won't happen. But at least we've stopped the narrative of Belichick carried him. There's a new narrative about defense carrying him, which is completely stupid. But at least we stopped the Belichick narrative. So A+, I guess. Now it's just defense, even though, again, I could ramble on that, but the amount of excuses people who hate on Brady use to just slander him is so funny to me. I love it. I've embraced it at this point. I've stopped arguing about it. It's wonderful. I embrace it. It's great. So yeah. Josh McDaniels is the favorite for the head coaching job in the Eagles. That's funny. It's the job nobody wants with the candidate nobody wanted. Why not?
Why would you want Josh McDaniels?
I don't listen, man. McDaniels is a great offensive mind. I don't know if
Weren't
he
you
has
complaining
leadership.
about him a lot this season?
This season he was a terrible play caller. Probably one of the worst in the leagues. I will give him that. But he's still a great offensive mind at heart. He's had some great seasons. You can't deny that. It's just what McDaniels are you getting? Are you getting the 2015 to 2018 McDaniels? Or are you getting last year's or Denver's McDaniels? Or are you
Ugh,
getting the 2 day
don't
Colts
remind
McDaniels?
me.
I mean, it's a gamble at that point. Philly, what do they have to lose at this point? I mean, I think they should just hire Gerard Mayo, our linebackers coach.
Yeah.
Might as well. How bad can it get? It's already a dumpster fire. You might as well just embrace it. You know, you have two quarterbacks. One of them's not going to be happy regardless of what happens. You know, can you imagine Hurts losing his job to Wentz? He would be incensed if that happened. Again, make it a dumpster fire. Blow it up.
More than
I
it
would
already
love
is,
it.
yeah.
It can't get worse. It literally can't. I guess we'll go down the hirings list real quick. Which one do you want to talk about? Because you want to talk about the George Patton one? I don't even know who that is, to be honest.
He was, I think, the assistant GM for the Minnesota Vikings, and the Broncos hired him as their GM.
Interesting. Doesn't he have like free reign to do whatever he wants with the roster?
He can do whatever he wants with the roster.
No requirements to do Drew Lock. No requirements to keep Simmons.
No, nothing. He said that he'll take advice from Elway and Fangio, but it is all up to him. It is his roster.
I like that idea. That's good for anyone who wants Denver like you to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
No, it's not Wilson, but drafting a quarterback. Listen, like you said, me wanting Josh Allen to be nominated for the MVP is like you getting Wilson. It's just not happening. Now it should, but it's just not happening. So, damn.
As long as it's not Mac Jones, Kyle Trask. As long as it's one of the top four, then I'd be relatively okay. Still wouldn't really like Justin Fields, but
yeah. Hey, if he falls to 9, that's pretty good value for Fields. And Campbell is, of all the hires beside Brandon Staley, the one that I was the most confused about. I didn't hear his name in any rumor mills, anything like that. He was just popped up, boom, head coach.
I mean,
apparently he's a really well-respected guy.
Yeah, he's a player's coach. And
they say they love him.
He was a tight end coach. He played for the Lions at one point in his career.
Wasn't he the guy? Now, this could be wrong. Wasn't he the guy in Miami that when the coach got fired, he took over as the interim head coach? And he impressed. That is the same guy.
And then they hired Adam Gase. Yes.
I figured it was okay. Yeah. I remember the Dolphins fans were completely enraged by that. I remember I thought I was on the right track. Yeah. Hey, give it a shot. Detroit, another one of those jobs. It's going to be a multi-year rebuild, so you might as well get a player's guy in there. He's going to have it minimum 2 years to do what he wants with that team. Think Zach Taylor, type situation. The Lions are going to be terrible next season. And most likely Stafford will be gone. So it's going to be a complete dumpster fire in Detroit. Arthur Smith. Your reaction to that hiring was probably my favorite. You were like, who?
Yeah.
But looking into the numbers, it's a pretty good hire. Looking in. Have you seen Ryan Tannehill's numbers before and after Arthur Smith?
No, I haven't seen them compared to each other, no.
He was averaging like 1 touchdown a game. He's averaging maybe like 250 or 225 yards. With Smith, he averages almost 300 and 3 or 4 to 1 touchdown interception ratio. I tried to say 500 words at once. And with Henry, he was averaging like 60 yards a game, and then now with Arthur Smith, he averages almost 115, and he averages a touchdown and a half a game. Then when before Arthur Smith, he was like 0.65 touchdowns. Arthur Smith did wonders for that offense. So Atlanta, probably a perfect fit, but I don't know about. People are saying, "Oh wow, the Falcons are going to be good next year automatically." I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I mean,
That
we
offense,
saw it was a lot more than the coach that
oh yeah,
was the problem last year.
yeah. There's a lot of issues with that team. We'll see. Matt Ryan will have another good year at least. They may go 6-10, but
Yeah.
Matt Ryan will have another good year. They need that now with him being there. Now there's rumors that Najee is like the primary destination for Atlanta in the first round. I was like, Atlanta picking your running back that high would be beautiful. Do it. Just do it, man.
As much as I love Najee, I'd still never take a running back in the first 2 rounds. Unless it was a luxury pick.
In my opinion, if I had to pick a running back, it'd be in between picks like 28 and after. I feel like if you're spending a late first on a running back,
that's luxury pick territory.
Yeah,
when it's like you might as well, because your running back's like one of those middle of the road guys, solid running back, and you're just looking to upgrade the position because you don't really have any other major pressing need like the Chiefs did last year with Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. Again, like I said, like Najee, but then the thing with Najee is he's a freaking monster. So
I love Najee.
You could make a body of work argument, especially with no scouting combine. That's gonna hurt Najee, I think, more than help, because I feel like Najee's best chance to get drafted high was to just blow the combine away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just show he's like an athlete among athletes, and maybe he'd get a top 10 pick. I feel like now he's probably entrenched between picks like 15 and 25. Maybe we'll see. Maybe he'll rise up boards. I think Steelers are the best team for him. I feel like they fit his running style the most, but
I'd hate to see Najee in Pittsburgh.
Me too. But scheme fit wise,
yeah.
And draft where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer to Jacksonville. I'm not excited about it, honestly. I feel like Jacksonville should have been one of those teams that went with one of those hotshot young coaches like the BNME or the Brady, especially with how much cap Lawrence, and how talented that team actually is for a 2-14 team or 1-15 team. It's pretty talented. So I don't know, man. I'm a little iffy on the Urban Meyer hire, but who knows? Maybe some experience is what they need.
If I'm honest, I'd love to see Najee in Buffalo.
Ooh, Najee in Buffalo with Allen. That'd be nice. That was my failed attempt at a whistle. That'd be nice. Yeah, I mean the Jacksonville. I don't know. I feel like they could have gone a lot better. It's not even really the character issue with Urban Meyer for me. It's just I don't think his game's going to work at the NFL level.
Yeah, and he's been removed for 2 years now?
Yeah. And I have to say this. Meyer has no connection to Justin Fields. Thank you.
It's true.
He's not going to draft Fields over Lawrence. He's even said he prefers Lawrence. So please stop that rumor. It's not happening.
Oh, so he has a brain.
It's not happening. Anyway, all he did was take the man out for dinner. That was it. So, yes, Fields is not going number 1. And if he goes number 1, I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something, okay? I'll do a cartwheel, and you can see me break my neck. I'll do that. Boom. There we go. We have a challenge. I'll do a cartwheel. Just like how I said I'd get a tattoo if New England won the Super Bowl. Didn't even make the playoffs. You'll love to see it. Yeah, and then I think this is everyone's favorite hire, Robert Saleh
Yeah,
for the Jets. A+. I love the hire.
probably the best hire.
I'm all for it. Culture change. He's insane. Literally.
High respected dude.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's gonna make that Jets defense good. Off the bat, I expect the defense to be at least top 15. What he did with that 49ers defense, with all those injuries, he can make any defense good.
Surprisingly, like one of the only players in San Francisco to not get injured was Jason Verrett.
Yeah, it's just like he just gave everyone else the injured voodoo, and he's like, I'm fine now. You know, even I'm fine. I think a lot of players. Hey, that was actually Watson's, I think, first or second candidate was Saleh. So, New York Jets rumor. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
Best
True.
team for him.
And they got the picks.
He's played with dumpster fire before. It wouldn't be new. Like I said earlier, there's no scouting combine this year.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's gonna make mock drafts a lot more interesting, and it's a lot about, like you said, pro days are very important.
Yeah.
Senior Bowl actually might be really important.
Senior Bowl is going to be the biggest pre-draft event this year.
Yep.
Pro days are going to be extremely important, as will the virtual interviews that they'll do for the combine.
Yeah. I expected the virtual interviews. I didn't expect them to cancel the actual combine workouts.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That surprised me. But hey, I guess
You're probably going to
it's
see.
really going to show who can. Oh, good.
You're probably going to see a lot of upperclassmen get drafted higher than you usually would have instead of like the lower classmen, just because of the lack of scouting combine. They're still having the Senior Bowl, and the interviews are virtual, which you don't really get a great grasp. Yeah, obviously face-to-face is much better than virtual.
Yeah. And you can't do a lot of the things, like apparently a lot of teams use props for interviews.
Yeah.
Or they'll do like example. You can't do that. I don't think that'll affect too much. It's really going to show who can draft. You know, that's simple. Who can draft, who can't. Just like the Eagles. I don't know. I think you saw the clip I sent you. There was a clip of the Vikings draft room, and they were getting ready to select, I think, Noah Iganabi. Why do we say his name? The Miami Dolphins corner. They were getting ready to draft him because their pick was coming up, and they knew in their head 100% that Justin Jefferson was going to the Eagles. They're like, it's done.
I think everyone kind of expected that.
Yeah, so they're filling out the draft card. They're like, all right, we're gonna go corner, and they were filling out the draft card for the corner, and then all of a sudden it said wide receiver Jalen Reagor, and they all started laughing. That's so mean.
I mean, I do that.
Anyway, just a whole room of these professionals laughing at another team. I mean, that's funny. That's so funny. So yeah, don't draft Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Don't do that. So AJ Brown, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Yates tweeted about it.
I didn't see that.
AJ Brown had surgery on both his knees recently. It was just tweeted about, I think, yesterday.
Shit.
And in 14 games on 2 hurt knees, AJ Brown had 76 catches for 1,075 yards and 11 touchdowns. What a man.
Jesus. That is grown man behavior right there. Goddamn, he's a monster. He was my number 1 receiver in that class, so I'm happy with that. Go.
DK was mine.
Make me look smarter. I enjoy it. Although, let's be honest, NFL Twitter does that to me anyway. I swear, man, I feel like such a genius after being on NFL Twitter for 15 minutes. I feel like I got a big old 155 IQ brain. You know what I mean? I feel smart. It's a dangerous place, man. It's a scary place. Don't go there. Don't do it,
You'll lose like 10 IQ points a second being on
bro.
NFL Draft Twitter.
I never forget one thread. Well, this is about we're talking Philip Rivers. It was about Philip Rivers, and the guy said he's a bum. He never won a Super Bowl, right? And so then someone lower in the thing said, "Well, oh, so you think Brady's the greatest of all time?" No, he's not the greatest of all time. Super Bowls don't matter. Pick one.
Wow.
Anyway, speaking of Rivers, he retired. He hung up.
Yep.
Putting him out to stud. Nah, it's been made. It's a dead horse. But
We might see the entire
congrats.
04 draft class, quarterback draft class
That's
retired this year. Be retired by the end of this year. If Bennett hangs them up, then the whole 04 quarterback class is gone.
Breeze, Rivers, Roethlisberger.
Schaub.
That sucks, man. Schaub, no, not Schaub.
And Manning. Manning's already gone.
Or Schaub. No, yeah, he's been gone. Hey, man, you got to give it to Rivers though. He had a hell of a career, man.
Especially for some of those teams
he doesn't
he
get
had
the
to play
recognition.
And
I mean, he led the best offense in the league and missed the playoffs because of his special teams.
Yep. And played in the AFC Championship game against Brady with a torn ACL.
Yep. And he was a true. He's something else, man. And then you have all the best mic'd up player of all time, easily, without a doubt. My favorite stories. There's this linebacker on the Houston Texans, and he lined up wrong for a blitz, so he didn't get there on the pressure. So after the play, Rivers walked over to him and said, "Hey man, you lined up wrong." So the guy goes to the sideline, and his coach is yelling at him, saying, "You lined up wrong." He said, "That's what Rivers told me." And the guy's like, "What?" "That's what Rivers told me." That's funny, man. It sucks to see him go, but
It was
his lack of playoff success was definitely not his fault. For a lot of quarterbacks, you can make the case that their playoff success was because they just kind of choked.
Yeah.
The man was working with carpenters, okay? You gotta give him some credit. I hope he gets to Canton, though. I don't know if he'll be first ballot, but
he'll get there.
I think he'll be maybe a second or third time on the ballot.
Depends
I'm
on
all for it.
Depends on who's up in 26.
Yeah. Well, he'll be retiring with Breeze, so that's a little worrying.
Yeah.
But maybe the second ballot. I'm all for it. If Eli's a Hall of Famer, God damn it, Philip Rivers is one too. I stand by that. I will die on that hill. There's 99 days till the draft.
Yep. Exactly 99 days.
99 days of mock drafts.
For real. When do we get to start ours?
99 days to finish my profiles that I've been kind of lacking on because of school. I've been a little lazy, I'll be honest. School has got me kind of messed up. And the all-rookie team.
The Pro Football Writers of America has come out with their all-rookie team for this season. Got, of course, Justin Herbert as a quarterback. What?
There's 2 Tommy Townsends with. That's cool. 2 Tommy Townsends. The punter on Kansas City and then the kick return.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Indy. Is that real or is that just a typo?
Let me see.
Colts. No, that's definitely a mess up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Isaiah Rodgers. Yeah. Okay.
Makes
I'm about to
sense.
say that the chances of that is like next 0 to 1. Yeah, so Herbert, like you said, was the quarterback. That probably would have been Burrow, but man got hurt. But Herbert played out of his mind. He deserved it. He played better than I think anyone was ever even expecting. Even the Herbert fans were even that high. Running backs, James Robinson, undrafted, went out there and just freaking destroyed people.
Yeah, he had a great season.
And Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. That's what makes the Jacksonville job so interesting, or the team so interesting. Lawrence, Robinson, Shark, Chenault, and you have another first round pick from the Ramsey trade.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is gonna be nice. Claypool and Jefferson were the wide receivers. Not bad.
Yep.
People are probably gonna be mad that it's not CeeDee Lamb, but Cowboys fans are Cowboys fans, so who cares? Harrison Bryant,
Tight end. Yep.
tight end 3 on the Browns.
Yeah.
Couldn't we draft Harrison Bryant, man?
I don't know why your guys' draft was mind-boggling. Still is for the most part.
I was freaking out. I'll never forget freaking out that night. Oh my god.
That was funny.
Oh
I
my
remember
god,
that.
I was done, dude. Lloyd Cushenberry, Damian Lewis from Seattle. I did not even know he was a rookie. I'll be honest. Michael Onwenu. Yay. He was one of the highest graded tackles in the league. Both Wirfs. That was a really good offensive line class. Wirfs, Wills,
Yep.
Onwenu. Great ass tackle class.
I have a feeling this class is going to be similar. Aside from like center, this is a really deep offensive line class.
Yeah. 3 defensive linemen, 4 actually.
Four.
Um,
Three of them were first round picks.
I hate how Young is just listed as DL. I don't know why that bothers me, but it is.
Instead of edge, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that bothers me. Kinlaw, it's like Madden, D-line. And the way they did linebacker. Kenneth Murray, I'll be honest, I was wrong about Kenneth Murray. I will own up. I thought Kenneth Murray was not good.
Same.
I'll own up to it. I thought that was a terrible pick by the Chargers at the time. It proved me wrong. Good job. You made me look dumb. It happens a lot, but good job. Good job.
I mean,
But Jarius Sneed was a surprise. And Cameron Dantzler. The CVs.
My draft crush, Jeremy Chin, being an absolute baller. I love it.
He was just insane, yeah. And Antoine Winfield.
There you go.
He made it over Cameron Curl. I probably would have put Cameron Curl, but hey, whatever. Hot Rod, Tommy Townsend. No, Isaiah Rogers.
James Prochet.
Posh. It's all about Posh. And Jordan Glasgow. So, a few players I think I would have rather put on, like I said, Cameron Curl. I would have liked to see.
I would have liked to see 3 receivers and 3 corners instead of 3 linebackers.
Yeah. Again, it's like they just made a 4-3 defense. Like, look, it looks like a 4-3 defense.
Yeah.
A 4-3 base.
And I don't. And
Isaiah Simmons,
who runs a dual backfield offense?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. But hey, again, it was a good rookie year considering these rookies had absolutely no real
OTAs, rookie camp, yeah.
Especially for the undrafted rookies, especially. I mean, it's impressive. I'm happy with it. At the end of the day, at least to me, the biggest snub was Cameron Curl for me. The rookie from Washington. I think that was the snub, but hey, whatever. But yeah, so hopefully these playoff games next week are pretty good. Yeah. So I think we've already showed what's going on, but just to recap, you are picking the Bucks. I'm picking the Packers. And in the AFC game, I don't think we talked about it. You're gonna go Bills.
Yep.
You know what? I picked the safe game in the NFC Championship. I'll go with the Bills. Why not?
I'm going with the B team versus B team Super Bowl battle of the Bs.
Hey, I would be so happy with the Bills book, because I would be so happy with that.
I'd be most unhappy with Bucks and Chiefs. That's a Super Bowl I don't want to see. because I can't
Yeah,
root
I
for
wouldn't
either
want
of
to
those
see
teams.
him. Listen, man, we need Brady just needs one more. Okay, give him one more.
He's
I'd become
greedy.
even more insufferable.
He's the epitome of greed. Just one more. Just
Indeed.
one more. Just one more.
Hey, well, now I know this is not going to happen, but hypothetically, imagine he wins the Super Bowl this season and then does it again next season. I know it's not going to happen, but just that would be funny.
No.
I'll be honest, that would be hilarious.
No.
It's not going to happen though, but
Just no.
I'd be all for it. It'd be funny, man. I hope he wins it though for our sake, because well, New England sucks. But hey, any Patriots fans that left for Tampa, better stay away, because we don't want you back. There was a lot of Patriots fans that left, probably for the best. We're so trash. It's bad. You should bring your Patriots fan on. We'll debate. I think that'd be funny.
Okay. Bet. I'll see.
We
See
should
if
do
we
that
can it.
as an episode. Just
Alright.
an hour of Patriots debate. We should really do that.
All right. Bet.
I'd be down.
Bet.
I'd be
I'll see if
so
I.
down.
I'll see if I can schedule it.
I'd be so down after the Super Bowl. I'd be like, let's do it. Oh boy, God, I can only imagine.
And then I'll bring
All
my
right, well-
Cowboys fan friend on here, and we could just listen and laugh.
Or we could just laugh at him. We don't even really need to listen. You can always just laugh at Cowboys fans.
No, I meant he'd come on with me and just laugh at you guys debating.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
No, he's a good Cowboys fan.
Yeah. Poor Cowboys. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Wait, I still have my
Hopefully,
college player of the week.
Oh yeah, I forgot you wanted to do that. Sorry
Wow.
about that. Well, you know. Well,
Just because
know.
you don't have a weekly session anymore doesn't mean I don't.
Listen, I won the championship at 7, at 9, or whatever I was. I don't even remember anymore. 6 wins, 7 wins, 7 and 6. It was that.
All right, so my player of the week this week is going to be a wide receiver from Western Michigan, Dwayne Eskridge. What?
I have heard of him, but I haven't scouted him.
He's 5'9", 190 pounds. He's a redshirt senior, so he'll probably get an invite to the Senior Bowl if he hasn't already. So that should be useful for him. Pros, he runs a good route tree. He has strong hands and can play outside or in the slot, though he is 5'9", so he'll never be more than a wide receiver 2. He can both cover and return punts and kickoffs. He is very aggressive and has a very high motor, high effort run blocker, which is something you don't see from wide receivers usually, especially of his size. He doesn't take plays off, and the dude's just a workhorse. The reason why he's such a workhorse and he has such a high motor and also can cover kickoffs and punts is because he played defensive back and wide receiver a lot during his college career. He switched between them a lot because of injuries and transfers. And he has a lack of experience at wide receiver. He didn't really play a full season wide receiver until his last year. And in 6 games for 2020, he totaled 34 receptions for 784 yards and 8 touchdowns, averaging 23.1 yards per reception. Again, that's in 6 games. 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, 34 receptions. So that's a knock on him. He doesn't have a lot of experience as a wide receiver. His size, obviously, he won't be anything more than a wide receiver 2. Projection, you'd probably see him go in the 3rd round, I'd probably say. But I could 3rd, 4th round. I could see him easily rising to the 2nd with a good pro day. Mainly good speed and agility measurables will really help his draft stock out, especially at his size.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that name before. I just haven't got around to scouting him yet. Yeah. Again, man, this draft, man, it's the first draft that I've really sat down and actually scouted guys, as opposed to just kind of watching.
I usually get more and more involved every year.
Yeah, And so this is the first year I've actually really taken the time to break down film and stuff. It's fun. I'm really enjoying running backs the most, though. It's really fun because it's pretty easy, but it's also really fun to watch running back plays. I don't know. I enjoy it. I also enjoy watching the offensive line. Maybe I'm a nerd. I am a nerd when it comes to okay. We'll do that. I enjoy watching videos about punting. Okay, leave me be. It's not a bad thing. No, I literally watched a 15-minute video about punting last night before bed. Again, down bad, but you know what? Whatever. So yeah, the playoffs next week. There's really, I don't know. The games are either going to be fantastic or terrible.
Yeah.
There's a real possibility both the Packers and Chiefs just blow out the other team by 20, 30 points. Like, there's a good possibility. I don't want to see a Packers-Chiefs Super Bowl. I guess I'd have to root for the Chiefs in that situation.
I would root for the Packers.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I couldn't deal with people like Roger Stans if he had another Super Bowl.
How do you think I feel about Brady Stans?
No, but I know Brady Stans are like three-quarters of us are annoying. I agree. Even I'm annoying at times.
Yes.
I still don't think the GOAT debate's even a debate. It is, but it's not. It's not. Anyway, again, I still think we should have a GOAT debate one week. You sit down with your Peyton stuff, I'll sit down with my Brady stuff, and we will go at it. I think it would
I
be fun.
I already know. I can already tell you that I'm biased just because Peyton is who got me into football. So there's no way I'm not.
Everyone is biased, though.
Yes.
I mean, you can't say that. I don't think there's a sports person in the world that's unbiased. I don't think there is. So, of course, there's bias in it. It's just, I want to fight about it, and I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be funny, a funny episode.
And then you could fight my Patriots fan friend about how a college team will never be able to be an NFL team.
Oh, that would be easy. I wouldn't even be a debate. That's not even a debate.
To some people, it is for some reason. But yeah, I'll see if I can get that scheduled after the Super Bowl.
We definitely should. It'd be fun, I think. Speaking of which, the Tennessee situation's funny. I like the letter of resignation or the letter of firing. It was pretty much, you messed up. You destroyed the reputation of Tennessee.
College Tennessee. I thought
Yeah.
like what happened with the
No,
Titans? Yeah,
it's pretty much, you messed up. You screwed us over. You screwed the recruits over. Please go away. I loved the letter. I thought it was the best.
Hey, recruit, here's a
I've
bag
ever
of
heard.
McDonald's that's full of money. You want to come to our school? They did that to I don't remember which player it was, but they did it to one player, and the player still signed with Georgia over Tennessee anyway.
Imagine getting like a McDonald's bag, and inside is like $5,000. And you say, "All right, bro, I'll sign with you," and then you just go and sign with Georgia. That's so disrespectful. No, that was funny. And then Alvin Kamara got in on the fun, and he posted a picture of him as a coach in Tennessee. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, he'd probably be a better coach than the coaches they used to have.
Probably. Anyway, we're rambling.
Yes, as we always do.
Thank you for tuning in this week. Glad you're feeling better. Hopefully, you'll be better next week. And
hopefully, I can return.
we'll be
to
back
work
next
soon.
week with the championship news.